Hello to you. You're watching another episode of Spirit. Thank you so much for joining us. It's good to be in your company. Acting has been said to be both an art and a science, a skill and a talent. But definitely, most of the people that are in the industry will tell you that the ability to channel people's emotions and portray different realities is definitely a gift. So, to whom does my next guest attribute his gift? Let's find out. I'm joined now by Mpho Sebeng. It's such a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, was it always going to be acting for you?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it was always going to be acting, entertainment. Yeah, it was always going to be acting.
At what age did you know?
I think probably 12. Because I always did school plays at the time, and I always liked like standing in front of the family and either saying a poem or like saying a speech or mimicking something that I saw on TV.
Yeah.
So I think I've always known, but it had to take a friend of my mom's to properly spot it out and tell me to go the acting way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you then got into the industry, because a lot of people will tell you just how hard it is, hey? Those auditions, the knocking on doors, the rejection, the no's, the maybes, the callbacks, and then something happens. What has that journey been like?
I've been rejected my whole life.
It's hard.
It is hard.
Yeah.
But, because I started a lot younger, I didn't really feel it. I felt like, if I didn't get it, then it's fine. That door is just not mine. So I'll try and knock on another door. So that's what I did. I just kept on knocking and knocking and knocking. And because I was so young, I didn't really feel any pressure. Yeah.
And at what point did you strike gold?
Probably after high school. What show was it? I think it was Saints and Sinners around that time when I did Saints and Zbondi. I think, that's around the time when I felt comfortable in my space and comfortable with being an actor and all. Yeah.
And then when you then get into the industry, what carries you through? Because there's a lot of turbulence that's there. There's a lot of politics inside the industry. There's a lot of temptations outside of the actual work. What sort of carries you through?
Just to always stay grounded and focused on the goal. I think for me, I want to see this long term, and not by that I mean I would really like to grow just the industry itself and not just myself within the industry. So it's always been to keep a level head, keep your feet on the ground, stay grounded, and just focus on the goal. Yeah.
And is there a role that spirituality plays in all of that?
Well, yeah, I would say in a sense, in the sense that you gotta stay motivated, and that's what spirituality does for me. You gotta have faith, and it helps me maneuver in this realm and in this world that we live in. Because as an actor, as a popular figure, there's a lot of noise. So sometimes you need some calming, and you need to find yourself. So that's where spirituality comes into play for me. Yeah.
You need a filter, something to process your thoughts and in your reality through. And how would you label that? So does it have a label of Christianity? Is it just a belief in yourself, higher power? How does it translate?
It's more of a belief in a higher power. I grew up in a very Christian orientated household, but as I grew older, because I was looking for my own answers, I decided to deviate from the norm and go and seek for truth, basically. So I find truth in different segments and different parts of not necessarily religion, but of my own spirituality. So in some moments, I do tap into other, religions and try to understand where exactly they come from. So that's what I do, basically.
And so is there a routine that you have, meditation, prayer, or going to church, or going to, a sanctuary of sort? Is there a particular religion or structure to which you subscribe?
There isn't necessarily a structure, because I don't necessarily believe in structures. And I think, as human beings, we're very controlling in the sense where we like to control everything to the T. We're trying to control time even now.
Yeah.
But so what I do though, from time to time I go hiking, sit on top of a mountain, and think about life and try to meditate when I'm there. Yeah, sometimes I literally just go for a jog, and I lose myself in the sense where I'm not with my physical being at that point, but I'm speaking and I'm connecting with my spirituality as I'm going. Sometimes it could just be at the gym. Sometimes it could be having a conversation about certain spirituality, or trying to process this whole life game. As I said, there's a lot of noise in the world. So I try to calm it down, and when I do try to calm it down, that's when I become one with my spirituality.
So I'm glad you speak about time, you know, and our desire as human beings to try and control it. I mean, we've got a watch here, a clock, we've got the hourglass there, because time really is of the essence. I'm of the view that we're put on this world to accomplish something. It may be to act, it may be to sing, it may be to be a businessman, whatever the case may be, there's a task and that we must achieve. So for you, just as time goes on, where would you like to see yourself in the next 5, maybe 10 years?
5 to 10 years, I would have liked to see, I would have see myself having grown in the industry, owning my own production company, possibly maybe doing a couple of features for the international market. So not going and waiting for the international market to make feature films here, but making feature films for the international market that would be that would get box office credits not only in South Africa but everywhere else in the world. That's where I see myself in 5 years.
Yeah. And do you feel that there's a particular purpose to what you're doing? Because great actors exist all over the world, nationally, internationally, etc. But there's a particular flair that Mpho has that the world is awaiting to see. So do you think that there's a particular message or a way of doing things or a philosophy that you would like to bring into the world?
I think more than anything right now, I think it's veiled. I don't want to take the veil off right now, and I think that the world should walk with me in this journey and let's unveil the secret or the message together. Yeah.
And what I like is that you're actively seeking, you're actively pursuing, you're becoming. I mean, the book that you brought through today, Thinking It Through, an introduction to contemporary philosophy. Those are things that you don't just do when you're like, this is life, so I pandi. You know, those are things that you do reading such books when you're actively saying, I want to tap into that greatness that lies within.
Correct. I'm constantly searching for truth, and I think it would be a life half lived if we don't question ourselves, question our beliefs, question what we think, and try to think it through with everything that we do. Why is it that I did what I did when I did it at the time that I did? And why is this happening the way that it is at the time that it's happening? So it's very important to think it through. In most cases, I
love it. We've gone so deep and so serious all of a sudden. But outside of that, how do you enjoy life and enjoy the world and enjoy being here? I mean, you mentioned running, you've mentioned the gym. Anything else that you particularly love doing?
I really like doing a lot of outdoor sports as well, or just outdoor, whatever adventures like quad bike riding, paintball shooting, from time to time maybe bungee, you know, so some extreme stuff. But also I like a lot of camping as well. So I like to be out with the universe, you know, enjoying nature, because I feel like that is God. Feeling the wind on my face, seeing the trees, that's life. Life is God.
What a wonderful world.
What a wonderful
as the song suggests.
Thank
you so much. I wish you everything of the best going forward. Thank you for spending time with us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for
having
me.
All the best in your quest. May you find what you search for.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us, and may you find your truth and your belief and that spirit, that chutzpah that makes you who you are.